guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Sammy and this is DIY Speed Garage, and I got a new project for this video. I'm gonna be upgrading my OME NITROCHARGER suspension with OME BP51s, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. Not because I don't like the ride of the NITROCHARGERs, it's just I kind of want more adjustability depending on where I'm going, what type of road surface I'll be on, and also I want it a little bit softer, a little bit more plush in the rear, and I think the BP51s are the thing that will help the most with that. I'll be able to make it a little bit softer in the rear. So yeah guys, basically that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. If you're, I know a lot of you have the same NITROCHARGER setup. If you already have that, this install is much quicker, much easier, because you don't have to do as much in the rear. You don't have to replace the springs, which are basically the same springs for the BP51s and the NITROCHARGER. So I don't need to replace my springs. I've already got the OME upper control arms. So yeah. Alright, so here's the whole set that I got for the GX. These are two rear ones. They're both the same part number. They are BP51 60025. That's for both rear sides. And this is the mounting kit, VM 800 1010. That's so you can mount your remote reservoirs. And then these are the front ones. Basically you got a left one and a right one. This is the left one, 9000 4L for the left, and this is 9000 2R. That's for the right side. And then this is the fitment kit for the remote reservoirs, VM 800 1008. And these are for the Prado or for the FJ, and obviously for the GX. I'm gonna start with the rear ones because that'll be the easiest. I also bought a set of rear shock guards from K-On Australia. Really nice, high quality finish, beautiful welds, high quality stainless steel. This is the part number KS0379, made in Australia. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are interested in buying these. They're much cheaper than anything else available here in the US. Even with the shipping, it's much cheaper. And then I got a shift lock release button. I'm not sure if it'll fit on the GX, but I'm gonna give it a try. It was cheap enough. Part number is KS0439, and it's for the Prado, Toyota Prado 150 series from 18 onwards, it says. So we'll see if it works or not. I'll show you guys on camera. But anyways, I'm gonna get cracking, install the rear BP51s, and then from there we'll tackle the fronts. So, but I think it'll be pretty easy. It's basically bottom shock bolts and then the top, basically. So we're talking right here. This is the top shock nut I gotta remove, and then bottom shock bolt right there. I'll go get some tools and then let's see how it goes. Alright guys, so this driver's side kicked my butt. Basically the nut that was up here, it wouldn't budge, and I ended up rounding it off. So I went at it with a reciprocating saw, and then drilled it out with drill bits, and then that finally did it. So finally got this loose, and yeah, just kicked my butt for real. So anyways, other side was no issue. And I did put penetrating oil on both of the nuts. But yeah, I got it out. It wasn't an issue. I have this new BP51 installed here. Basically, out of the box, they'll come with all of the little bushings and top hats and everything the way it's supposed to go. So yeah, so you don't have to wonder how this stuff goes. And then down here, you're gonna use your original bolt, but then you're gonna use the supplied, there's two washers you're gonna use. Basically, you're gonna slide this one in, and then the shock is gonna go in after that. So this sits behind the bottom shock mount, and then this goes with your original bolt, and then you torque everything down. Now, as far as the reservoir mount, this right here, the curved one, this is for this side. This is for the passenger side, and it's mounted like this, and I'll show you where you're gonna mount it. These brackets are side specific. So this curved one is for the passenger side, and it mounts like so, right behind the shock. And I'm gonna show you where that is. You've already got threaded holes into the frame. However, because our GXs have automatic headlight leveling, you've got this right here, which holds a little, there's a little bracket. This is for the headlight leveling. So basically, you're gonna take out these factory bolts. You're gonna put your new bracket on top of it, like so. All right, and then you're gonna put the bolts back through, and then once you have this in, then you get this thingamabob over here, right here. You slide this over, like so. Right, you see how the heads of the bolts went in here, and then you just tighten from the back. I believe these are 10mm nuts. So that's how you install the passenger side. Driver side uses a different bracket. I'll show you guys when we get to that. So let me finish installing this passenger side, and then we'll do the driver's side. So stay tuned. Alright, so I have the remote reservoir mounted. As you guys can see, it's in that location I showed you. I reused the original bolts that were holding the automatic headlight level sensor. So the ARB reservoir, remote reservoir bracket goes on top of that original bracket, and then the bolts go through that, and then basically you put this in, and then you slide your reservoir in, and then through the back you tighten the two nuts with 10mm. I use the ratcheting wrench, and that's pretty much it. And after that, you're ready to install your guard. Basically, you gotta use these two yellow thingamajigs. From what I understood, I think the two halves go like this. One half is on the left side, another half is on the right side, and then the guard snaps over them, goes over them, and then that secures it into place. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a try, and then I'll let you guys know if it worked. And if it did, then we're gonna move on to installing my shock guard from K-On. Then I'll have to do the other side, and then I know I'm not gonna have enough time to do the fronts today. It's already too late. It took me like, I don't know, 2 hours to get that nut off on the other side, that top nut on the other side. So, but anyways, let me keep going, guys. Alright guys, I got the shock mount on. So basically the two little yellow pieces, basically you're gonna do the one half on the front and the other half on the back, so they meet up like this, one from the front and one from the back. And then you basically slide this shock guard down, and you got to push really hard, and you'll notice, you'll see it whenever it's in place correctly. You'll see it'll fit perfect. So I have that installed. I'm going to go ahead and start the other side, and then if I have enough time I'll do the K-On shock guards also. But for now I'm gonna keep going, finish the other side. Hey guys, so it was Saturday when I started installing the rear BP51s, and I finished with that. Then I was gonna start on the front, and then I noticed that my bushings on my sway bar are completely shot. I'm talking about the outer bushings. So I had to order some. I got the polyurethane ones, they're supposed to be better. And I also noticed that my tie rod ends, there was like some grease. They were kind of greasy and dirty, so I figured those are probably shot too, and I ordered some of those. So I'll get them this week, and then this weekend I'll install that, and then I'll finish up installing the BP51s on the front. But let me show you guys what to look out for on your bushings. So let's go. Alright guys, so here I was looking at this right here. This is the tie rod end. It's all greasy, and not greasy, but it's full of dirt that's stuck onto it. So that tells me it probably let out the grease that was in there, and ready to be replaced. So, and then on the sway bar bushing, you can see it, it's completely cracked and dried out and ready to be replaced. So the original ones are rubber, so I'm gonna replace these with the polyurethane ones. I'll leave links in the description if you guys want to get some. But yeah, I didn't want to have to come back to this later, so I just wanted to get it all done in one shot. So yeah, this weekend it'll be done, so stay with me guys. Alright, so I kind of have some other stuff out of here because I'm shooting other videos for one is for replacing your outer tie rod, which I have that out right now, and then I'm doing one for replacing the sway bar bushings. You got the 2 inner ones, the 2 outer ones. So I got more stuff out of the way that you really need to when you're replacing your strut, your front shock slash strut. So basically now for this, I'm going to remove the bracket right here. I believe that's a 8mm maybe. Once that's out of the way, I'm going to remove this cotter pin right here, loosen this nut, whack this right here so the ball joint can separate. Once that's done, we're going to loosen the shock bottom shock bolt. I believe that's a 19 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's a 19, and it should be a 19 on the other side as well. Once that's loose, we're going to loosen remove the 3 top nuts, and then this whole thing can come out. And because I have my sway bar removed, this control arm, A arm or whatever, will be able to come down. So this should be coming out pretty easily. Although keep in mind, put a bungee on this right here. You don't want it. You don't want your CV axle to come out. You don't want it to pop out from inside over there. So don't let this come out too much. Don't let this thing fall this way too much, otherwise that's going to be a pain in the butt to get it back into the joint over there. Alright, so just wanted to update you guys. This right here bracket nut is 10, not an 8, so wanted you to keep that in mind. So I got the cotter pin removed successfully. It wasn't too bad. Used the needle nose pliers. I'll be able to reuse this. I don't know if they sell these at the auto parts store. They probably do, but this one's not too bad, and I didn't get it too mangled up, so I'll reuse this. And then this right here is a 19 as well, so I'm gonna back this out again, not all the way, because I don't want this thing to pop up all of a sudden, the upper control arm. So I'm gonna loosen this, and then I'm gonna start whacking this. And before I remove the nut completely to separate this, I'm going to tie up a bungee to this right here and attach it somewhere so that this whole thing doesn't come out too much and pop out the CV joint right there. So let's get going. All right, so this really, honestly, it took no force. I hit it with 3 light taps and it separated. Wasn't super stuck on, and that's because I didn't over tighten the castle nut. So now I'm gonna go get my bungee, and then we're on to the next step. All right, so these top nuts are a 14, so just grab a 14 spanner. And then like I said, the bottom shock bolts are a 19 on both sides. The bolt head is 19 and the nut is a 19 as well. So I've already got my 19 spanner on here, and then I'm gonna hit that nut right there right now. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. But I'm gonna like put you guys down so I can hold that and then get this loose. Alright guys, so I got this bottom shock bolt out. It was super easy to take out. Didn't even take a lot of force. Didn't take a lot of manly muscles. Even a lady can do it. But I think it's because of my penetrating oil that I put on there a few days ago. So I just gotta pull it all the way through. But for now, I'm doing the top nuts. For the back one, it's kind of tricky, so I recommend getting a ratcheting wrench in there, get that one out, and then drive these two out with your electric ratcheting wrench, electric wrench. So let me go ahead and get to that. Alright, so I got the back one out and this front nut out. This one is also backed out, but not all the way. I then removed the bottom shock bolt. Basically just jiggled the strut up and down while pulling on the bolt. Don't forget, the bolt goes in from the rear going forwards, and then the nut comes on the front. So whenever you put in the new strut shock, don't forget that. So basically now I'm going to support this while I remove the nut on here, the last one, with my other hand, and then that'll be ready to come out. Then I'll remove the castle nut here, and then we'll go from there. Right, don't forget, put in your bungee cord. Alright, so this doesn't come out. And now basically take out the castle nut. Which way does it go? Oh yeah. Alright. And we have separation. Although I think I put in my bungee cord in a way that this this control arm can't come out, pop up completely. Let me reposition this real quick. That was dumb. Alright, I guess the bungee is not really strong enough, so I use a floor jack just to support this thing's weight. I got the strut out, and this thing moves up and down freely. So we're ready to put in our BP51. So let's go ahead and get that one. I think we got to get the one that ends with the letter R for the right, which is the passenger side. Alright guys, so this is where your hardware, front hardware kit comes in handy, because you need to get the bolts for the top strut, basically for the strut top. You're not gonna be putting nuts on top, you're going to be putting bolts going through and into the BP51 shock. So it's different than stock, so that's why you gotta buy these hardware kits. It comes with everything, including the remote reservoir, mounting brackets and everything, and it comes with the instructions. So That's mounting brackets for the remote reservoir. This is all the hardware. This is also, I guess, I don't know what this is. I'll read in the instructions. I think it's a sway bar drop spacers or something, but I don't need them on the GX because it's got the KDSS. I guess they include them. And then this is the other part of the remote reservoir mount. So, and then you got your adjustment spanner, adjustment tool for your adjustability on your BP51. So let me read the instructions and I'll get back to you guys. Alright you guys, so I'm gonna start putting this in. Basically these are the bolts that will be coming through here on top and then going into the BP51. So it's 3 of these on each side, and then I'll show you the hardware you got to use on the bottom to secure the shock on the bottom. Alright guys, I have this in. I haven't put in the bottom bolt, however I put in the tops, and I got a ratcheting wrench to make it easier. I'm gonna start with the back one. So yeah, I'm not gonna tighten these all the way tight. I'm just gonna tighten them so that it brings the shock up. And I'm doing a little by little on all of them. So okay. All right. Let's do the rear a little more. Okay. Do this a little more. Oh, that's super loose again. All right, now I'm gonna jack this whole arm up and I'm gonna get my bottom shock bolt in. All right, so let's go ahead and install the bottom strut bolt. We don't need any hardware for this car, no reducers or adapters. Just go ahead and put in your original hardware, which was the bolts, and then on this side, it's on the front side, it's the washer and the nut. So let's go ahead and do that. And all right. Like this down a little bit. All right, I think we're good. Let's see. All right, I have to put you guys down so I can get that bolt through. Okay, so I got my bolt through and the washer and the nut on the front. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten all this up and then do the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and start mounting this remote reservoir. Remember, the wire, the braided hose needs to be underneath the upper control arm. All right, this needs to go underneath, not on top. So don't forget that, then you'll be upset. All right, cool. All right, so I'm done with tightening this bottom one. I may have over tightened it, but apparently it's only 70 foot-pounds. So yeah, and then the top bolts are supposed to be 32 foot-pounds. So I went ahead and did that. Obviously the back bolt you can't get to with the torque wrench, so just tighten that manually. And now I'm gonna work on installing the remote reservoir, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I've been struggling for a long time with the remote reservoir installation, and the reason for that is these brackets, these instructions are clearly not for a V8 with KDSS. These are for a 4-cylinder with a 6-cylinder with KDSS. Basically, this bracket right here should be pointing and going inwards. So this is supposed to be for the other side, and the bracket that goes for this side, which I'll show you in a second, is supposed to be mounted going inwards. However, that can't fit in here because this is a GX460, it's a V8. So there's no space to mount the remote reservoir because there's some kind of a pulley and metal hoses and stuff in there, so you can't install it that way. So I'm gonna see if this is even gonna work on with the GX, because yeah, I don't know if the tire is gonna rub on this or not. It most likely will. I don't know, we'll see. Otherwise the hose is fine, doesn't touch anywhere, it's fine. And I had to take off a cover that was here, this plastic cover, and then I've got basically like a millimeter of space I left there. So I don't know, guys, I'm gonna try and do the other side. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and reinstall the upper control arm to the spindle, and then I don't know, hope for the best, and then we'll get to the other side. I almost forgot, the little plastic that goes here, it completely disintegrated on me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and install a new one. I bought this a while ago, so, but I'll leave a link in the description for you guys in case you want to replace this on your GX. Alright guys, so this is how I mounted the remote reservoir on this side. Basically just one, I used one bolt for the bracket right here. There was a hole here already. I think that was for that little plastic shield, and it's nice and tight. I hope this works. I hope the tire doesn't rub on the bracket, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. For now, I'm gonna put my sway bar back. I was gonna replace the inner and outer bushings. However, the outer bushings that I got, the diameter, the inner diameter is smaller. My sway bar is thicker, so I'm gonna have to reuse the old ones for now, and then I guess I'll order another set with a bigger diameter. It said it was the right one, so I don't know. But anyways, that's the install. This is the driver's side, and everything is installed. So let's see how that works out. Okay, so it's been a few months now since I had the BP51s installed. I know I wasn't sure if the remote reservoirs mounting locations where I mounted them would be an issue with the tires rubbing on them or whatever, but it turns out it's fine. There's no rubbing, so you guys can go ahead and use those mounting locations, or if you want to find another mounting location you know, that you see is better, then go for it. But the ones I did are fine, no rubbing at all. And the BP51 is a better system, like I said, for adjustability. You can make the ride softer, plushier, or you can make it firmer depending on the road surface you're on. Especially it's good for like towing and stuff. You can adjust the springs, you know, the shocks, not the springs but the shocks. You can adjust them any way you need to, you know, make it firmer. So yeah, I've been happy with the BP51s. And the one thing I noticed though, the way it comes from the factory, the adjustment on the knobs, it's a little bit soft. So whenever I would brake, you know, whenever I would come to a stop, there would be some nosedive. So I had to adjust the front a little bit, make it a little bit firmer, and basically that fixed it. With the NitroChargers, it wasn't like that. It was immediate improvement over the stock. There was no nosedive at all when braking. So, but yeah, I have it set up right now in a way that I can show you guys how you can adjust your rebound and compression, because on the GXs and I think the Prados and the FJs, basically the springs are a little too close together whenever it's on the ground, so you can't really adjust the knobs for the rebound and compression. So you would either have to have it up on the lift, or you could do what I did, and it's especially for the front. The rear you can adjust without doing anything, but the front, you have to let the suspension, the spring, you know, open up. The suspension has to sag, and that's what I did basically. I'll show you guys how I did it. So come, let me show you real quick. Okay, so I have it up on these plastic Rhino ramps. So basically right now it's on the passenger side. So this is on the front, it's getting tucked in. On the rear, it's flexed over here. So right now, basically, ideally, you would have more space to adjust the rear passenger side, and then you would have, see, it's tucked in on this side, so you can't do it now on this side. But on the driver's side front, now you've got more space. You can get your little adjustment spanner that comes with the BP51 kit, and then you can adjust basically right here. You can get that in there and then turn it, and then on the bottom one also you can do that. So that's my suggestion. Or if you have a lift, or I guess you could do it with bricks or something, or if you're terrain, wherever you are, you can stop in a way where the front is like compressed on one side and drooping on the other. That's the way to adjust it. But yeah, that's my suggestion. And then if you want to do the other side, switch your ramps, put this on the other side and put that one on this side. So that's my suggestion. So yeah, that's the install of the BP51, guys. it wasn't too bad. It was quicker for me because I already had the springs installed from the NitroCharger set that I had. And I'll try and leave some links in the description for the BP51 setup. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. It's a good system, you know. I'm not saying it's the best one, but it's one of the better ones. It's been tried and tested and proven to be a reliable system. You know, everything has its pros and cons, but ARB stands behind their product. And you know, from what I've read online, you know, if you tell them something's wrong with it, if something goes wrong with one of your shocks or struts, they'll usually just send you out a new set or fix your old one. You just send it in, no questions asked. So yeah guys, that's it. I've got more stuff coming out very soon. Gonna be upgrading the high beams on the GX. The stock ones are halogen, so I have a company that reached out and they're sending me one of their products so I can do that swap and then give it my opinion. So yeah guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Like I said, it's free. If you're enjoying my videos, please help me out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.